Hi folks, come up the woods this afternoon. Thought we'd come up and spend a bit of time up here. We haven't been up here since obviously we lost Haid, and he used to love it up here. Got some lovely memories of him running over this bridge and over the other side, and so it's very, very cold today. It's dry, but it's very, very cold. The air is really cold, the wind is cold, and it's, whew, it is chilly. Certainly not a day really for hanging about. So yeah, it's been hard. It is hard. There's no two ways about it, and obviously everybody, every single one of you that's lost an animal, you know exactly what it's like. And you know, people who do rescue like Charlotte and all these phenomenal people that rescue animals day after day, they're faced with pain day after day too, and we all know what it's like, and it hurts like hell, and it's you know, it'll be 2 weeks this Friday, 2 weeks tomorrow since we lost him, and you know, it's early days for us, and I know grief is different for everyone, and everybody deals with it in different ways, and we have to deal with it. We don't have a choice. And you know, for years, whenever there were bad things that happened, or you know, I lost something, which I seem to lose a lot, it leaves you with a sense of real loss when, you know, you, even though you rationally you know that, you know, your animals can't live forever and you can't have them forever, but it's it's just that crushing sense of loss, isn't it? Filling the void where, you know, where they once were. And it's hard. And the hardest thing for me is that Haid really was quite a needy dog. You know, he always wanted something, attention, or you know, and towards the end of his life he got more needy, and you know, for months and months and months I wasn't sleeping because he'd need to go out, you know, 3-4 times in the night, and I was constantly tucking him up and mothering him, and you know, and I don't begrudge one single minute of it because he was part of my life, and that's what I loved about him, because he was so flipping whingy and needy, and you know, he knew he could get me right where he wanted me, and you know, and I'm kind of got the most amazing dog in Scotia. She is phenomenal, and you know, she's been a challenge. She's caused me no end of heartache, but she is such an awesome dog, and I couldn't have any more comfort than, you know, what I'm finding in her, because she's always been a really lovey, kissy dog. She's always slept with me. There's not a night gone past where I don't wake up in the morning with her not under the duvet, and she gets in the early hours and scratches me in the back, and under she goes, and she sleeps with me, and she's with me everywhere, really. And so, you know, but she's such an easy dog now. She's such an easy dog. She's, you know, apart from the fact that she's so nervous when we go out, but she always has been. I mean, she turns 11 in January, and, you know, we've done the same walks since I've had her, 4.5 months old, and we've done the same walks, and she's still nervous when we come out the door, you know, but that's just her, that's her. And but, you know, she's actually doing okay. I was worried about her because she's never been an only dog. She's always had, she had Philo and Erin, and now she's an only dog. And you know, it's early days, isn't it? Hade's only been gone 2 weeks, and I've had people actually ask me, will you get another one? And, you know, before this moment in time, this year, I wouldn't have hesitated. I would have immediately said, of course, you know, yes, I'm going to go get another dog. I've got to be surrounded by dogs. I've got to have animals. I can't, you know, I can't not get another one. And I'm not talking about, you know, right at this moment, but normally my reaction would be, well, of course, you'll get another one. But I think part of the thing that's upset me this time is, one, I can't really afford another one. Unless I go and get a job where I'm going to earn enough money to pay my rent and pay my heating bill and my council tax, and, you know, it's not, it's great, isn't it, having a dog, but what happens when, you know, it needs to go to the vet? You know, people who are working full-time jobs and more than full-time jobs, I mean, they're working more than one job, can't afford vet's bills. And yeah, okay, you know, my dogs were insured. When I had Hade, my dogs were insured, all 3 of them, and then my circumstances changed overnight, and I was left financially in a situation where, you know, I couldn't afford the insurance anymore, and every year they put the premium up, and I think, you know, you're much better off really just putting the money aside every month rather than, you know, paying all this money every month, and your dog gets older every year and they put the premium up, and it's just a scam, you know. It's, yeah, okay, it's great if your dog's got to have, you know, major, well, even today, just going in for little things, but then it comes under the, you know, it comes under the insurance threshold and you end up having to pay anyway. But it's, financially, I can't afford another one. And if, you know, if anything happens with Scosh, and I can't even afford to really, sustain any long-term health issues with her that might arise. And it's, I think, that's what's making it so much worse this time. And also, sorry, just feeling a bit emotional. I mean, I'm good, I'm strong, I'm tough, I'm Lucy, I'm, been through much worse than this, Lou. But right now, this year, everybody knows I've turned 60. Lots of my friends have turned 60. Lots of my friends are older than I am. So it's not about my age, but my leg's not that good. It doesn't stop me doing things, but it's not great. I've got aches in places in my joints, my bones ache, my joints ache. I've got terrible pain in my shoulder, which I believe is probably from an old injury years ago when I got pulled. My shoulder literally got pulled out of the socket and back in again, and I had it scanned at the time and everything was great and not a problem. Now I think because I've hit 60 this year, it's like it's now deciding it's going to hurt. And are you balancing on that? That's very clever of you, isn't it, balancing on there? Eh? You're looking at those people, aren't you? People just walk down there. Yeah. So, yeah, go and get a job. Well, yeah. Scotia's never been left on her own. And get another dog to keep her company, and then I could go out to work. But I can't, it doesn't work like that, does it? And I fear that because, I came off painkillers, prescription painkillers 2 years ago, and the last thing I want to do is, go back on painkillers. And when the pain's bad, then obviously I'll take paracetamol or something. And it's it's manageable. But there's so many things, I feel so alone, really. Not alone in the sense that I haven't got people that love me and care for me and wish me well and have helped me, immensely, and for that I am eternally grateful. But I do feel so alone, and I think losing Haid has kind of triggered off, stuff in me that I don't know, I felt as a kid, I don't know, as a child. Sense of loss. I mean, one of the worst things that, one of the worst symptoms of someone who has been through, childhood trauma like I have, like, children of alcoholics and traumatic childhoods. One of the biggest issues is your feelings of abandonment, and that's always been a really hard one for me. And change is good. We all have to have change, don't we? But I just feel that I'm in a different kind of space at the moment where you know, maybe a couple of years ago I could have said, well, yeah, I wouldn't think twice, and of course I'll get another dog. And you know, well, I don't know if I could get up here, Skosh. Well, I can, but it's a bit slippy, but there you go, we're up. So yeah, and then so that's one thing that I'm struggling with at the moment. And you know, and if anything happens to me, what happens to the dogs? And I don't have anything, you know, to leave in provision for that for them. Or and there's all these things. And you know, when you're sitting at home alone, well, I'm not alone because I'm with God, but and I do, you know, I do believe that whatever I go through is for a purpose and a reason. And will you stop eating the trees? Yes, you. What are you doing? You're funny. And then I've got this other situation with the cat. So let's talk Ginger Nut. You know, I love the cat. She's part of my life. And I didn't want Cats Protection to get involved, and you know, I still don't want them to get involved. But how am I going to cope, you know? But I can't bring myself to trap her. I just can't do it. And you know, she's now so close that she rubs all around my legs, and you know, I could almost just pick her up and put her in a box. But you know, I think it was the day after I lost Haid, I actually sent a text to the Cats Protection woman, and we had a bit of a conversation, you know, by text. And then after I texted her, I regretted it. And I thought, actually, you know, I got quite protective over the cat, because she immediately, this woman was like, well, we need to come and trap her. And you need to starve her so that I can trap her. And I'm like, you know, my hackles went up, and I'm like, what the? No, you're not. You know, she's my cat. And I love her, and I don't want to lose her. And it's just this crushing sense of loss. And I know I'm not abandoned. I know I'm not, you know, I'm not going through what I went through as a kid. And but what am I here for? It's to love my animals, and I'm kind of scared that this is the end of the road for me as regards animals, because I've got to be able to survive, haven't I? I've got to be able to, you know, to get some money and survive, and I've got to be able to provide for Scotia and the cat and all of that. And so anyway, I mean, I'm just making this video because I'm kind of wearing my heart on my sleeve here, and I know a lot of it's grief, because I miss him so much, and he had such a major influence on my life and in my feelings, and you know, but loving animals is not saving souls, is it? And I believe I'm supposed to continue my story, and you know, supposed to have a purpose to my life. And there is a purpose to my life, and you know, just sharing how I feel with you guys is enough for me at the moment. Just knowing that, I mean, I was absolutely overwhelmed by the love and support and the messages and the comments when I lost Hayden. Absolutely just surrounded by so much love and support, and I am so grateful to all of you for that. And you know, it's good. I you know, if I didn't have animals, I wouldn't be able to come out walking. And they're what, you know, I'm so thankful for this little one here. You know, she's been amazing, even though she's nervous. You know, she's done everything I've ever asked of her. She's got on a train and gone down to England several times, and she's amazing. And you know, as each of our dogs is amazing and unique, and but I do look at her and think, is she lonely? You know, I'm terrified that what would happen if I lost her. It's, you know, all those things go through your mind, don't they? And it's hard because I live on my own, and it's not that I don't want to live on my own, but you know, I've got the offer of my very good friends in England have offered to, you know, have me down there, and I could, you know, find a place down there and move down there with Scotia. But you know, I love it up here. I love it up here. And maybe, you know, I often think, will I die in Scotland? Doesn't matter where I die, does it? You know, that's just my body. But will I die here in Scotland, or will I, you know, will I still be here in a few years' time? I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening to my rambles. It's not exactly, I don't even know what I'm rambling about really. Just, you know, I feel bad about the cat because I feel, you know, I should do the right thing, and obviously one day I've got to get her sorted, and you know, I still think she could be pregnant, but I mean, looking at her, she's not imminent anytime soon, but maybe, I don't know. And then, you know, there's just, I don't know, so many questions, and I'm just thankful for everyone, and just to let you know really that I'll be carrying on my story, and if that's all I've got to offer and then I die afterwards, that's great. And you know, I mean, my mental health, I haven't gone into this yet, but my mental health, obviously I was diagnosed as being, you know, suffering from depression, borderline personality disorder, antisocial behaviour disorder, which I no longer suffer with. You know, that was a lot of violence and aggression and anger, which I don't have anymore. And I was on medication for years and years and years, and I was on antidepressants, up until 2 years ago when I made the decision that I really didn't want to be on them anymore. And I'm glad. And I don't want to be on them anymore. And so I'm very thankful that I'm not. But, you know, I do suffer. I do get times when, you know, it can be worse than others. But my faith is the only thing that keeps me going. If I didn't have my faith and belief, if I didn't have the belief that, you know, that I'm loved by God, also by lots of other people, but looked after, protected. Look at that gorgeous view over there. Then I would have given up a long time ago, because my whole life seems to be a fight for survival, really. But I am so thankful for what I do have. And what I do have is a wonderful dog who is staring at me at the moment. I have people who love me. I have people who I believe have been put in my life for certain seasons and in order to help me and bless me, and I believe sincerely that God will continue to bless me and look after me, and you know, whatever path I choose to take, whether I stay here in Scotland whether I, you know, eventually go back to England, I don't know. I have to say, it doesn't thrill me, the prospect of moving back to England. Not under the current government and not under a lot of what's going on. So I guess if I die up here, you know, it's all good. Hopefully I'm not going to die anytime soon. I'll have a couple of years left. I don't want my body shipped down to England, thanks, for any funeral. It'd be great if you could just throw me in the Clyde, actually. That would be great, wouldn't it? Anyway, guys, I'll wrap it up because I've been waffling on, but I wanted to get out. I just wanted to let you know I'm okay. We're okay. But we are struggling. I'm struggling. It's just a huge hole where Hayden used to be, and he's no longer there. And I know you guys know what that's like. And I know I lost Erin 4 years ago, and you know, we adjusted and got through that, and we'll get through this. And you know, and again, I have to say, I am so thankful, I'm so blessed, because a couple of years ago I couldn't have been this strong, and I would have, I don't know, probably gone and sunk a load of drugs, because that's how I used to, you know, cope with pain. Because for years everything was so painful that you had to shut it off. There's no way you could deal with any of it. It would kill you. So, you know, now I have to, you know, just go through the pain and come out the other side. But when you lose something, it's like it triggers off all the other losses in your life. And but yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up now because it's getting cold and we need to head back, don't we? I think we'll probably go down this way actually and back out this way. It'll probably be easier. Remember, I used to walk Erin and Erin down here. She would go scooting off down there and run around people's gardens down the bottom where those houses are, and then she'd come scooting back up again, as if to say, what? I haven't done anything wrong. And you used to go with her, didn't you? Numerous times, because you were naughty. Right, we've got to walk down this riverbed bit now, So yes, I will be continuing my story. It's just a question of when, really. Yeah, but it'll be soon. Because, you know, I might not have long left, might I? Who knows? So, I will talk to you soon. She's good company on a walk. She's good company. Years ago she would have been off chasing deer and rabbits and all sorts of things. There's no rabbits here, but deer. We do see deer, but she's getting too old for that now. And she doesn't like to let me out of her sight. So she doesn't tend to run off anymore. Unless, of course, there might be some sheep about, in which case sheep would come before me. So I'm going to head home now because it's getting cold. I've got to go feed the cat. Anyway, yeah, just to add, the cat, I've ignored the cat's protection woman for the moment, and we're still looking after the cat. So it's all good in that respect. So talk to you later.